Have you ever wondered why some people remain unwaveringly calm and wise in the face of chaos, making decisions that seem almost superhuman? The secret lies in ancient Stoic practices that sharpen the mind and control emotion, unlocking a mental edge few ever discover. Join me as we reveal these 7 hidden Stoic lessons that will sculpt you into an undefeatable thinker. 7 Stoic lessons for critical thinking today. Stoic mental sharpness. Compiled and published by Stoic ruler. Lesson 1. Question with calm, not emotion. Imagine a mountain standing unshaken by the tempests that whip across its surface. The clouds may swirl, rains may fall, and winds may scream, but the mountain's core remains unmoved, silent, steady, and strong. So too can the mind be sculpted to remain calm while the storm of emotion rages all around. Beneath our everyday masks and practiced smiles, each of us knows the experience of sudden surges of anger, anxiety, and insecurity. It's as if a wildfire sparks within, threatening to consume both reason and composure. In moments of criticism, provocation, or fear, self-control becomes elusive. Words arrive sharp and hasty, judgments crash down unchecked. Later, regret lands heavily across our conscience, and we wonder if there's a way to have acted differently, cooler, wiser, less hostage to our emotions. The trouble begins with how quickly and automatically our emotions move from spark to wildfire. Imagine being an archer tasked with hitting an unseen mark in heavy fog. Frustration floods you. Where's the target? Fear whispers that you'll miss. Angry thoughts circle, blurring your vision further. So often, this is how we approach problems in life, blinded by emotional reactions and unable to see our targets with the clarity reason would bring. We fire off judgments on instinct and impulsive feeling. Emotional momentum can sabotage good intentions, luring us into patterns of overreaction and self-defeat. How easy it is to believe every surge of anger, every pang of jealousy or embarrassment is the final verdict on reality. How often do we override the tranquil mind in favor of stormy impulse, only to chart a course straight into regret? Yet what if there were a way to transform this turbulent energy, to pause the inner chaos and see the target clearly through the mist? Picture instead a silent sea, untroubled by the winds, its surface reflecting the sky with unwavering quiet. Here, the captains of ancient ships learned not to fear stillness, but to use it as a time for recalibration, planning, aiming anew. The Stoics, wise navigators of the human spirit, offer us an answer: the discipline to always ask, is this thought truly mine, or is it my emotion speaking for me? By questioning every instinctive reaction, by pausing, even for a moment, and refusing to let emotions steer unchecked, we create space for calm to return. This calm is not weakness but power, for it is from silence and detachment that true vision comes. To master one's emotion is to recognize that the first thought, often loudest and most pressing, need not be the guiding star. It is the silent, steady fire within, the disciplined soul, that shines brighter than the most brilliant outburst. Each time you meet a challenging moment, make a habit of silently asking, is this my reason or my emotion? Let the question halt your tongue and settle your heartbeat. In this pause, the storm stalls, and you become that unmovable mountain, studied and unmoved. Emotional control is not about denying what you feel. It's about seeing the feeling and choosing with gentle authority who sits at the helm, your rational mind or your fleeting mood. This approach allows you to train your mind not as a battleground where feelings and logic clash, but as a garden where discipline and insight grow together. It unlocks the secret power of the silent Stoic, the ability to inspire trust, to remain attractive in times of stress, to become undefeatable because you are unprovoked. Each episode of self-restraint, every victory over impulse builds the neural pathways of composure. Imagine greeting life's provocations not as fires to be stamped out, but as opportunities to wield calmness as your most profound tool. Fear diminishes in this steady presence. The opinions of others lose their fangs. Self-doubt fades as emotional waves recede, leaving you clear-eyed, resilient, and alert. By making a simple, quiet habit of questioning your first response, you step outside the reach of the world's noise. You become less a puppet of external pressures and more an architect of your destiny. When criticism comes, curiosity overtakes defensiveness. When fear threatens, patience orchestrates your action. No longer do you live at the whim of emotional weather. You become the calm at the center of every storm, attracting not chaos to yourself, but strength, gravitas, and peace. The world offers endless provocations. Real strength is not found in brute resistance, but in poised questioning. Let your mind become the silent ship gliding through stormy waters, tracking always toward wisdom and clarity, undisturbed by waves. Each time you do, you train your mind to be sharp, your impact stoic, your essence unshakable. Through calm questioning, you wield your greatest weapon, the choice to rule yourself from within, no matter what rages outside. This is the real power of the Stoic mind, unmoved, undefeated, and resplendent with inner authority. Pause before reacting, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this my emotion or my reason? Practice this every day, especially when provoked. You'll notice more control, a clearer mind, and fewer regrets as you become more attractive, confident, and undefeated in stressful moments. Begin this habit now and feel your composure grow, knowing mastery is a daily craft. Next, discover how deliberate patience, delaying judgment before you speak, makes your mind sharper than ever. Let us know your thoughts below, and subscribe for more transformative lessons from Stoic Ruler. Lesson 2. Delay judgment. Observe with reason. Picture a solitary lighthouse, casting its steady beam across restless tides, unmarred by the tumult below. Its light does not flicker in panic when a wave crashes or when a storm brews. Instead, it observes all that happens without condemnation or haste, simply illuminating the truth. In a world swirling with noise and impulse, the mind of a Stoic aspires to be just such a beacon, detached, receptive, and precise. But every one of us, at some point, has given in to the impatience that comes when uncertainty appears. How easy it is to judge, to react, to decide instantly before the dust of a situation has even settled. The urge to draw rapid conclusions about others and ourselves is overwhelming. It fires in the mind like lightning, vivid and blinding, demanding satisfaction. Each of us has felt the hot rush of frustration when misunderstood, the desire to seal an argument with a verdict, or the satisfaction of a quick but harsh dismissal. This urge to immediately judge, fueled by emotion and impatience, is a source of much pain and division. It is the sharp blade that cuts ties, the icy wind that chills understanding before it can thaw. A friend speaks sharply, a colleague lets you down, a stranger offends, and before any real reasoning has a chance to breathe, the sentence is passed. They meant harm. They do not respect me. I must retaliate. These snap judgments come swiftly and with authority, yet in their wake, they leave regret and misunderstanding. Reflection often reveals a lack of vital information, missed perspective, or the realization that perhaps the situation was different than you'd falsely concluded. Easy to see, then, why so many relationships strain under the cumulative weight of harsh and premature opinions. In this moment of habitual decision, the Stoic offers a path that feels at once startling and deeply sensible. Intentional delay. Much like the patient gardener who waits for the morning dew to evaporate before harvesting a fragile blossom, you can pause and simply observe. When emotions spike, imagine yourself a silent watcher on the bank of a river, seeing thoughts and feelings speed by, but not leaping in. Let the current of initial reactions flow past. In this pregnant delay, clarity arises. The mind becomes an open harbor, welcoming reason and allowing details to float in gently until the full story unfolds. Just as the ancient Stoics learned, observation always precedes sound judgment, and the truest insight is not shouted amid a storm, but whispered in the calm afterward. Approaching each conflict, misstep, or confusion with this deliberate patience gives your mind a powerful advantage. You begin to shape your awareness, rather than letting moods or assumptions shape you. The world's provocations become less jars to your serenity, and more invitations to inward mastery. Delay is thus not weakness, but strength. The shield that guards your mind from impulsive harm, and the compass that points toward genuine understanding. Each careful moment spent observing unlocks not just the truth about others, but also yourself. The need to be right fades while the desire to truly know grows. Decisions, when they come, are firmer, rooted, and wise. Embracing this way of being, you begin to radiate the presence of the silent Stoic. People sense your steadiness. You become attractive, not for your speed, but your gravity and calm depth. In learning to harness patience, emotions no longer blur your sight. Instead, reasoning shapes each response. With each success, confidence grows. No longer do you fear uncertainty because you have learned to wait and watch, to observe with reason until the haze lifts and the horizon becomes clear. The Stoic then becomes undefeatable, not less human, but more attuned and unshakable by passing storms. This ancient approach, alive in every observant pause, silently trains your mind to conquer not just outward chaos, but the wildness within. Next time you feel judgment rising, pause, breathe slowly, and silently observe before responding. With repetition, clarity increases and impulsive pain fades, replaced by calm, thoughtful control. Begin practicing this today and watch your wisdom and relationships flourish. Our next lesson will reveal how challenging beliefs sharpens perception. Share your experience below and subscribe for more from Stoic Ruler. Lesson 3. Challenge beliefs. Sharpen perception. Imagine standing in a vast gallery filled with mirrors, some clear and true, others clouded or warped, reflecting shapes that look almost but not quite like you. This is the inner world of belief. For every reality we encounter, layers of invisible glass shape and shift our perceptions. Sometimes the picture these mirrors show is comforting. Sometimes it distorts, making us smaller, afraid, or defensive. Each of us quietly wrestles with the question, is what I see truly real or simply a habit of mind? An uneasy tension haunts these moments. When your confidence falters in a new job, in relationships, or in personal goals, the origin often lies deeper than circumstance. It is born in the stories we silently tell ourselves, the beliefs that run beneath the surface. Yet day by day, many move unaware through corridors of their own assumptions, liable to react impulsively and never asking, could this idea be wrong? For most, our beliefs are inherited from family, formed by experience, or picked up unconsciously from the world's endless noise. They shape what we expect from ourselves and from others. This works well, until one day it doesn't. Imagine a skilled archer whose bow has always been bent just slightly to one side. Each time he aims, the arrow falls wide, but he never questions the weapon. Disappointment grows, frustration flares, and self-doubt gnaws at his resolve. Our minds work exactly the same. Unchecked beliefs about failure, success, worthiness, and potential guide each action. When things go awry, the pain often comes not from what is happening, but from a deeper narrative. I always mess up, people are out to get me, or nothing ever goes right. These beliefs, often invisible, cloud clear sight like thick fog rolling across a once sharp landscape. The real tragedy is not when we face challenges, but when we let limiting beliefs hold us hostage to old patterns. Emotional outbursts, the sting of comparison, or the habit of withdrawal after setback. Each can be traced to an unchallenged narrative, whispering behind the scenes. It takes courage to face our own mental mirrors, especially when they show us uncomfortable truths. We ask ourselves, can I look honestly at what I believe? Do these ideas bring light, or do they shroud my days in shadow? To master your emotion and forge a stoic mind is to seek out these hidden mirrors and question everything they reflect. It is not an act of self-criticism, but a quest for clarity, a chance to unlock the freedom that only comes from seeing clearly. Here the wisdom of the silent Stoic comes alive. Begin to treat every long-held belief as a guest in your home. Invite each in, offer a seat, and ask, who sent you? Do you protect me or keep me small? Do you bring old wounds or future strength? By culling beliefs like a gardener pulls weeds, we free the roots of our best selves to grow deeper. When you challenge your beliefs with honest curiosity, not aggression, you activate a new inner strength. Your perception sharpens like the eyes of a ship's lookout trained to pierce the oncoming fog, searching for both hidden danger and untapped opportunity. The benefits of this practice are profound. With each belief you examine and adjust, fear melts and fresh possibility emerges. Conflict transforms from threat to chance for insight. Emotional pain is no longer a trap, but a messenger, revealing the story you are living and granting you the power to rewrite it. As self-limiting beliefs fade, your presence grows more attractive. People draw to your open confidence, and adversity no longer makes you withdraw. It becomes your proving ground. In this way, the ancient act of questioning beliefs unlocks a modern sense of personal invincibility. Your mind, once captive, stands free to meet life with poise and purpose. Each time you practice, you add fuel to the still fire within, subtly transforming even the hardest experiences into silent, stoic strength. The journey is not about emptying your mind, but refining it, training yourself to see with clarity and act with a discipline that shines bright, even if storms swirl around you. Each day, pause to honestly question one belief that shapes your actions. Ask if it serves or limits you, and be willing to adjust. This habit unlocks self-awareness and resilience, letting confidence bloom. Start this mental training now and notice new strength. Next, learn to think with principles instead of moods. Subscribe, like, and share your growth below. Lesson 4. Think in principles, not moods. Envision a towering tree, its roots anchored deep in solid earth. No matter how fiercely the wind howls or how sudden the storm descends, the tree holds steady, upright, and strong. The world may change around it. Seasons bring both blossom and barrenness, yet its steady core never wavers. In our inner lives, this tree is what we strive to be, guided by principles that do not bend with every gust of emotion or sway with each shifting mood. Yet for many people, daily life feels more like a leaf caught in a whirlwind, blown here and there by the unpredictable forces of mood and circumstance. One moment, confidence floods us. The next, fear, anger, or doubt sweep in, steering us somewhere entirely different than we intended. We tell ourselves to stay calm or focused, but as soon as something throws us off, our intention crumbles, replaced by knee-jerk reactions. Everyone knows this conflict. Maybe you begin your morning determined to face discomfort with patience, but by noon, a single annoyance sends your temper flaring. Or perhaps you resolve to treat others with kindness and integrity, only to feel envy or insecurity spin you into gossip or self-doubt before you realize what's happening. The emotional weather changes quickly. When we make choices by mood, life becomes a stormy lake, the water never settling long enough to see what lies beneath. This turbulence might feel inevitable, but what if there's another way? A way to find an anchor so deep that no matter how strong the emotional current, you remain rooted and calm. The pain of living at the whim of moods is that it drains confidence, wrecks self-trust, and leaves behind a trail of broken promises to yourself. The Stoics call us to something higher, the cultivation of core principles, clear, firm values that guide choices regardless of emotional weather. Principles, unlike momentary feelings, are your chosen truths. They might sound simple: honesty, courage, patience, or respect for others. Yet when consciously claimed and practiced, principles create a compass more reliable than mood or circumstance. Imagine each principle as a star overhead, guiding your course at sea even when storm clouds block the moon. By thinking and acting from principle instead of from mood, you are no longer hostage to each passing surge of anger or wave of uncertainty. You unlock a deep reservoir of self-command, earning the calm confidence of the silent stoic. The benefit of trading moods for principles is profound and immediate. The feeling of being lost in your own reactions begins to fade. Your mind, once wild, becomes a well-tended garden, a space where you choose which seeds to nurture, which weeds to pull, and how to weather the storms without losing your direction. When you practice choosing principle over mood, your actions start to align with the person you wish to become, rather than being dictated by whatever feeling happens to dominate the moment. Relationships deepen. Trust from others grows as your consistency becomes apparent. People are drawn to your unobtrusive strength. Fear and self-doubt lose their sway, for you know why you do what you do, and this inner clarity is deeply attractive and undefeated by circumstance. This shift does not demand perfection. Like the ancient sailor guided by constellations, you may lose sight of your chosen stars now and then, but you return to them by conscious choice. Moods will insist you turn aside, but each time you pause and let your unwavering values, not your fleeting feelings, call the next move, you confirm your mastery over your own life. The undisturbed fire within burns brighter. Your impact becomes steady and real, touching others with its warmth. The inward discipline to prioritize principle gives rise to greater freedom in action, a powerful attraction and a reputation as someone others can rely on, even when the emotional winds shift without warning. This practice, timeless and alive, will train your mind for whichever storms or blessings tomorrow may bring. Arming yourself with principle is not just a tactic for emotional control. It is the silent architecture of the undefeatable, ever-steadfast mind. Start each day by choosing a guiding principle, like honesty or patience, and pause when emotions rise to act by that principle. Soon you'll gain greater control and feel solid amidst shifting moods. Practice this now. Watch your confidence and clarity blossom. Our next lesson unlocks how accepting uncertainty leads to deep understanding. Share thoughts below and subscribe for more. Lesson 5. Accept uncertainty. Seek understanding. Picture a trail winding into a mist-covered forest at dawn. Every step forward reveals only a little more. Roots hidden beneath the leaves, the unpredictable flutter of wings in the branches, shadows shifting in unfamiliar patterns. Progress is slow, uncertain, and requires a particular spirit. Our lives often feel much the same. Every conversation, every plan, every new path comes wrapped in the unknown. It is natural to long for control, to wish the world would hand us a clear map, an unwavering sunlight with no shadow of surprise. And yet, precisely at the edge of clarity, where most people hesitate, lies the chance for the most powerful growth. Deep inside, this feeling is universal. We find ourselves resisting the unknown with quiet tension, easily unsettled by unanswered questions and unexpected changes. It could be the anxiety before an important decision, the confusion when someone we trust acts unpredictably, or the worry that rises when the future seems uncertain and out of reach. There's a subtle pain in not knowing, in the gap between expectation and reality. Too often, this discomfort tempts us to react defensively, to make quick judgments, to grasp tightly for reassurance, or to draw conclusions prematurely just to gain the illusion of certainty. Left unchecked, this need for answers can cloud our minds and close us off from deeper understanding. A person racing to resolve every uncertainty is like a sailor who panics when the sea fog rolls in. Desperate to navigate by old landmarks, they might miss entirely the hidden currents that would carry them to new wisdom. The untrained mind experiences uncertainty as a threat, something to extinguish at all costs. Questions multiply. What if it goes wrong? Why did that person act this way? How do I fix this? Panic wells up, and the quest becomes not to understand, but to eliminate ambiguity as quickly as possible. In doing so, emotional distress rises, rash choices increase, and opportunities for real insight vanish in the rush. Relationships suffer under the pressure of suspicion or blame. Self-confidence erodes when each step depends on certainty alone. Yet the truth is, the world is vast and shadowed, impossible ever to see in full. The most powerful lives are led by those who become at home amid uncertainty, who refuse to let doubt dictate either their mood or their value. The Stoic mind learns to greet uncertainty not with fear, but with curiosity, an open willingness to understand rather than control. What if, instead of tightening up and reacting blindly, you could pause, accept the shifting mist, and for a moment, simply observe? This practice is less about passively accepting whatever comes, and more about unlocking the intelligence hidden in the unknown. Imagine standing with silent poise as uncertainty presses in, letting the confusion and discomfort settle without flinching, knowing that wisdom often dwells there, waiting. Each unanswered question or surprising event is transformed from a threat into an invitation to listen better, to ask more insightful questions, to see what is actually present instead of what you fear or expect. Adopting this mindset brings subtle and profound change. The storms of anxiety no longer control you. You grow resilient and alert, alive to nuance and possibility. Every moment of uncertainty becomes a training ground to build your emotional discipline, mastery, and calm. Others sense this quiet strength and are drawn to it. You unlock a rare kind of attraction, the magnetism of one who never needs to have all the answers in order to remain unshakably self-possessed. The silent Stoic moves through life like the seasoned adventurer in the mist. Their impact and confidence come not from knowing every turn, but from relentless, patient curiosity and the refusal to shrink from the unknown. It is here that true growth lies, in learning not just to survive uncertainty, but to let it expand your mind and your character with every challenging step. When uncertainty strikes, stop, breathe deeply, and ask yourself what you can learn instead of what you can control. Keep curiosity alive and let questions guide you before seeking closure. This habit brings calm, resilience, and deeper wisdom. Try this mindset today. Next, you'll learn to respond with logic, not instinct. Share your thoughts and subscribe for more. Lesson 6. Respond logically, not instinctively. Picture a blacksmith at the forge, his face illuminated by the glow of controlled fire. Each time a spark jumps or the metal seems to threaten chaos, he does not yank away in panic. He shapes, waits, and measures every strike. His strength is not in wild intensity, but in reasoned action, transforming raw elements into lasting tools. In much the same way, every person is confronted daily with situations that demand a response. A harsh word, a tough decision, an unexpected setback. Instinct yells loud and brash, quick to defend pride or comfort, but the Stoic mind is like the blacksmith, slow to react, quick to assess, eager to forge a response that serves, not destroys. This inner battle is familiar to all who strive for emotional mastery and true self-discipline. Maybe you feel it in the friction with a colleague, a loved one's criticism, or when an obstacle deflates your ambition. The first wave of reaction is almost always emotional. Anger boils up, anxiety surges, embarrassment flushes your skin, or you feel the urge to withdraw or lash out. Here is the ancient human script unfolding. The mind wants to act in the oldest way, to return a sharp jab for a sharp jab, to pull away in fear, or let hurtful words out before reason can temper them. But the pattern of instinctive reaction, so efficient for survival in ages past, too often brings regret and missed possibilities in the modern world. The core problem is this: our instincts and first emotional impulses are rarely tuned to produce the best results in today's challenges. An instinctive response delivered in the heat of emotion is often poorly aimed, like an archer firing wild into the night, hoping to strike the mark by chance. Too often, relationships suffer and problems compound because responses given on emotion alone build momentum, creating conflict where peace or progress could have grown. People find themselves locked in cycles of hostility or shame, wishing later that they had paused, reconsidered, or responded with measured confidence instead. Here, the transformative solution is both beautifully simple and deeply powerful. Train yourself to respond with logic before you let instinct decide. This does not mean suppressing all feeling or pretending you live without emotion. It means acknowledging the instinctive urge, but choosing deliberately whether or not to act on it. When a challenge arises, envision your mind as both captain and crew of a silent ship slicing through stormy water. Instinct is the wind shaking the sails. Reason is the steady hand at the helm, guiding response while absorbing information from all that surrounds you. When you quiet the initial surge, logic acts as your compass, showing you not just where the emotions want you to go, but what truly serves you. By practicing logical responding, you gain distance from the heat of each moment. You lift yourself out of the push and pull and settle into an elevated vantage, like the ever-watchful lighthouse keeper, peering through the tempest before ringing the bell or setting the light. With each occasion of holding back emotion to analyze, the neural fires of impulsive habit die down, and the quiet flame of discipline burns stronger within. The result is a new kind of power. Calm and undisturbed, you become less vulnerable to provocation, less likely to regret your words or actions. Problems become puzzles rather than threats. Conflict becomes a space for insight, not escalation. This way of meeting the world creates a gravitational pull, making you attractive not by force, but by a reputation for wisdom and reliability. Others soon trust you with greater responsibility, seek your perspective, and feel drawn to your steady confidence. Instinctive fear and self-doubt lose their grip because you know that, no matter what comes, your reason will steer you toward clarity and constructive impact. The journey from reflex to reason is the heart of emotional self-mastery, and it is a practice that distinguishes not just the Stoic, but anyone seeking to become unstoppable and undefeated. Each time you respond logically rather than impulsively, you quietly train your mind, fortifying yourself for every storm and unlocking the enduring power of the silent Stoic within. When emotions rise, pause and identify what you feel, then ask, what response serves my values and reasoning? Practice this daily to gain steady self-command and freedom from regret, transforming stress into clarity. Start today. Each moment is a new chance. Next, we explore daily reflection to refine inner clarity. Subscribe and share your insights to inspire others. Lesson 7. Reflect daily. Refine inner clarity. Imagine a sculptor facing a block of marble at the end of each day, gently brushing off the dust, running his hands over the emerging shape, searching for both beauty and flaw in the stone. Just as the sculptor gradually uncovers the form hidden within, so too does the disciplined soul return to themselves by the soft lamp of evening, seeking truth in the day's marks. This image captures the heart of daily reflection, a practice as ancient as the Stoics, yet as alive and immediate as your next quiet moment. In a world that urges us always onward, we often trade urgency for wisdom, racing past what is truly essential because we have never learned to befriend our own thoughts. We press forward, convinced that action alone defines worth, until the noise gnaws at our peace and clouds what matters. Many people, though aware of the concept of self-reflection, struggle to put it into daily life. There is an undercurrent of restlessness and a subtle fear at play. If you pause, will everything fall apart? Will reflection reveal discomfort, failure, or simply confusion? Perhaps your mind races at the end of a busy day with what you've left unfinished, mistakes that still sting, or worries about how you've been perceived by others. The constant drip of regret, anxiety, and self-doubt can feel overwhelming, keeping you from looking too closely at yourself. When the mind is endlessly busy and scattered, our sense of direction falters. We become like archers blindfolded at dusk, releasing bolts at targets we can't even see, hoping, guessing, but left unsure whether we've moved forward at all. The consequences of this unchecked pace echo in every unresolved irritation and unlearned lesson. Mornings begin with old mistakes lingering, and with unresolved emotion asking for another chance to run the same familiar patterns. We lose access to our own wisdom, treating each day as something merely to be survived rather than sculpted. Small frustrations pile up, letting anxiety and fatigue seep like water through the cracks of our best intentions. Reactions become stale, growth stagnates, and we end up less the captain of our ship and more a passenger swept along by any current. In this state, attraction, confidence, and impact are lost, not by fate, but by the absence of mindful pause. Enter daily reflection, the silent tradition that unlocks discipline, emotional control, and the impact born of true self-awareness. Each evening, the Stoics practice the art of self-examination, gently asking, where did I act with honor? Where was I ruled by impulse? This practice is not an interrogation, nor is it self-punishment. Rather, it is like polishing a mirror so you may see what is present without distortion. Mistakes and progress, yes, but also the shining intention beneath it all. To reflect is to become both master and student of your own experience, refining clarity by regular, honest appraisal. It is a way to face discomfort with quiet strength and to nurture the silent Stoic who is not afraid of learning from all things, even personal failure. The true gift of daily reflection is the way it unlocks self-awareness and courage. When you pause each day to review your actions and thoughts without harshness, you begin to see patterns where you are drawn toward impatience, where fear still casts a shadow, where your best self shows up bright and clear. This formation of inner clarity is not judgmental, but compassionate. It softens regret and emboldens future growth. Imagine quietly noting what unsettled you that day and realizing you have the power to respond differently tomorrow. Each night becomes not a burial of mistakes, but a planting of seeds for personal transformation. Emotional mastery follows, confidence deepens, and the next morning, you step forward lighter, more focused, and unusually attractive and calm. The inner fire burns steadier, and you become the captain who guides rather than the passenger who drifts, charting your course with deliberate wisdom earned by patient self-observation. In this way, daily reflection honors both the silence and flame of self-discipline. Even in darkness, you gain light because you are brave enough to see yourself as you are and as you could become. The wisdom is ancient, but its call is always new. Breathe, look inward, and gently shape what you will be. In the willingness to reflect, you unlock and train your mind for clarity that does not fade with the passing of any day. Each night, set aside 5 minutes to review your day, noting moments of strength, slip, and growth. Ask gently, what can I refine tomorrow? With regular reflection, clarity and confidence deepen. Begin this practice this evening. Watch composure and purpose emerge. Continue your journey, share your progress, subscribe, and invite others to explore greater clarity with Stoic Ruler. You've now explored 7 timeless Stoic lessons designed to sharpen your mind, strengthen emotional control, and guide you toward confident self-mastery. Thank you for dedicating your time and energy to this journey. For more transformative insights, please like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Stoic Ruler. Your path to inner clarity continues here.